You know this being an ex-policeman. They say you're getting old when the policemen all look young. I'm not feeling that with the police, but I'm certainly feeling that now with the internet, with YouTube. When we went to the Navy, we joined at 16. If there had been the internet, I probably would have set up a channel. And I probably would have tried to put out there, this is what you do if you want to do this. Well, it's certainly the case now. You look at the internet and it's all young guns, it's all young gurus. Where are the young ones who are trying to learn something, rather than the young ones telling you how it is? That's the shift. We have a generation now who come out of universities who believe they know all the answers. Now, that could be a good thing, but generally, it tends to be, I'm going to go to Etsy, I'm going to go to YouTube, I'm going to make my wealth that way, and some do. And I'm certainly not going to go down to the military, where I have to put in all the hard yards and all the hard yakka and learn, and then be deployed away from home. One of the reasons given as to why people are not joining up, because they don't want to give up their smartphones. They can't put it down. They won't join the Navy or the Army or the Air Force if that means they're going to have to put that away.
At the end of the day, you don't have a phone. Now, I really value having a phone. At the moment, I'm streaming straight off my phone because my internet is real sketchy here, but the phone signal's good, so I can stream straight off my phone. It's fantastic. It's a great tool. But I have my phone. My phone doesn't have me. I use it as a great tool. I use it for my business. I use it for all sorts of bits and pieces. But you know what? I can put it down, as long as I can remember where I put it these days. But I can put it down and I can turn it off, and I don't have to have it. It's not always attached to my ear hole. So to think that people would restrict their ability to engage with the real world because of their engagement with the virtual world through a handheld device is staggering. You think about all of the time that we were overseas together, all of the scrapes that we got into, all of the runs ashore, all of the places that we visited, all of the people that we conversed with, and there was never a cell phone in sight. Never a cell phone, because they didn't exist. We have built up a range of experiences within our life that some people will never, ever, ever have. And more people will never have, because the ability for that engagement to ever take place is being reduced because of things like the reliance on cell phones. And if people are genuinely not coming into the armed forces because they don't want to be without their phone, well, they're not the sort of people you want in the armed forces anyway, because you want people that are going to get stuck in irrespective of the circumstances. You want people that are going to have a bit of grit in them, and who are going to be the ones that are our defence and are our people that are going to protect our countries, etc., etc. You don't want people that are going, oh, hang about a minute, my TikTok's not working properly. Flipping heck, all I think about TikTok is winding up an alarm clock. Obviously, TikTok is a bit more than that these days. Not picking on TikTok, whatever it is, whatever the app is or whatever the thing is. I just find it staggering. While we've gained a lot, and I'm a real lover of technology, we've gained a lot, we've lost so much. We've lost so much. And I don't know if the trade-off has been worth it. I honestly don't.
There's a conundrum that one of the reasons people don't want to join up because they no longer trust the institutions. Now, I assume that means government institutions. And, rightly so, some of the institutions perpetually seem to be getting into scrapes of corruption, mismanagement, because we're dealing with people. Never once do the people who give that as an excuse for not joining up say, but what about the institutions that are feeding me the news? Or what about the institutions I crave their products from? It all seems to be one-edged, one side. In other words, not much nuanced critical thinking. Half the problem that the forces now have is unlike the past, where they're just, terrible phrase, cannon fodder. They needed people just to man the guns or to operate machinery. You can't do that now with a lot of the machinery because you have to have very clear thinking and the ability to process a lot of information quickly. So they're after not so many people. I mean, you think about the amount of people that used to have to go onto a sailing ship to make it work. Well, most modern ships now don't need half the crew that even the Leanders needed. They have much more accommodation, but they've got to be a certain critical thinking person. Are they there? What kind of person is the education system put out? And are they too intelligent now You're not after people who don't think. You're after people who think, but their thinking other places is for them.
I wouldn't say, looking at what the education system churns out, that the people that are being churned out are more intelligent these days at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I think some of them are completely stupid. But that might just be because they're devoid of common sense, because that seems to have been the thing that's no longer very common. You need people in the forces who have got good common sense. And it seems to me that what we have got is we've got a lot of churn in people who have got no common sense anymore. People who are very well educated. I mean, when you and I joined the forces, there were very, very few people in the lower deck who would have been university graduates, because they would have been candidates for wardroom, they would have been candidates for commission. Very few would have had degrees, very few. But so many people these days have degrees. So the education standards in terms of academia has gone up. Now, whether or not the intellectual capability of people has gone up to match that, I'm not sure. I don't even know that I would agree that critical thinking has gone up. I think that we've lost the ability to critically think. And I think that so much is now driven by these cell phones, and so much is driven by what's pushed out in front of us through various algorithms based on searches and all of that sort of thing, that people have actually lost the ability to think.